Downtowns don't come easy. You just can't pop up some for sale signs, build infrastructure, and people will come. In some cases, it seems like this is exactly what they did. And then the people who did show up, well, they eventually just left for the suburbs anyway. But as is the case with Apache Junction, our town, we're starting almost from scratch. Almost meaning we have our challenges, and from scratch meaning doing it the right way from the start. So we share with our community the progress, doing it the right way.
One of my first impressions was, well, that's a lot of money to be spending on a small street like that. But when I look at what's happened to that, the restaurants that have come in, and I'd like to see that sort of thing expanded.
It was basically from scratch because there was nothing there to start with. And everyone saw that this was definitely an improvement. The meetings that I attended on that one was people were overwhelmingly in favor of it. And so that South Phillips Drive, when it got completed, people liked it. And the only thing I think that's missing on that whole idea was more benches.
We have to have some kind of a plan so that you don't have some ridiculous, gaudy business going there. I mean, we want to, and it's not set in stone.
I also attended several of the public meetings that they had. My wife and I attended them and listened to what the citizens were saying. Some of those things that people were addressing were there. And so I had a good confidence as to what they were presenting to City Council was what the community wanted. And yes, it was laid out perfect, and it showed what the steps that needed to be accomplished, and the city is now implementing them as we're stepping along.
You know, a lot of times rules aren't left in stone. Things have to be changed. And some of the restrictions that were put on businesses can't be put there anymore because times are changing.
It took me a while to come around because I had been trained and raised and to have really, really strict signs, really strict parking, so nobody ever has to look for a parking space. But you have to look at it from the business standpoint also. What can they afford? And what could still look really good, draw people in, and we don't need all of that old stuff.
You know, when you create an ordinance in the early 80s and you hold on to that same thing, and now it's 2012, come on, things have changed, and it's our job, it's the city's job to grow with that change. You know, what sounds good right now may not work out to be that good. So you've got to say, okay, we learned, and change it.
Yeah, the parades we have, the community events we have are fantastic. Other stuff throughout the whole community, the marathon, we're getting to be world famous for that.
Right.
The more activities we have will encourage people from outside our community to come, and therefore it will bring in more vendors for different activities that we have on.
Something to identify Apache Junction. Try to bring us into the 20th century but still keep our rural effect.
We have not confined ourselves in a box that is strictly Western or strictly modern. etc. We've given us some wiggle room. So we've tried to show them something that says, yes, we're doing this. We're not just planning it. We're not just writing it down somewhere. We're actually doing it.
First they thought, what the heck's the city doing? Then, after it was completed, they said, well, okay, this looks great, but what are we going to do? How are we going to continue it on?
So when you have CAC say, hey, we really need to expand this campus. We're expecting an increase in students. We want to be able to offer them all this great stuff. And in order to do that, we need to expand what we have here. So hand in hand with them, we say, ooh, great opportunity. Let's get a traffic light up there. Because if we're going to have more people on the CAC campus, that means more cars, which in turn means we need some kind of traffic control.
Education is so important, and the fact that they're going to be doubling, as I understand it, their size, bringing a lot more students in, making education available in a much more active way to our citizens and others in the area, I think it's just fantastic. And we were willing as a city to redo our streets, to work with them, for us to do some, for them to do an awful lot of it. Saved us a lot of income, a lot of revenue expenditures in order for them to do a lot of it. What we spent was very little by comparison, and we're going to get an awful lot out of it.
We have the best opportunity up and down the trail.
And I'd love to see it improve and grow even more.
I want this to be a destination, and it's not just me, a lot of the people do. There's no reason why people won't come from all over the world to come to Apache Junction.
We're going to be one of the good, dynamic cities in the whole valley. I don't want to see us do what's been done. We have the chance here to do something really spectacular.